push. Throw to the floor. Go live. Oh, thank God audio works. Gloves. Oh crikey, forgot about the chat window. Yeah, we'll leave that open. Out of practice. Don't know what I'm doing. As usual. Should have cleaned up my bench before I started. As usual. Oh, I have no paper towels. As usual. It's going to be fun. Hey, ITC. Mr. Muhammad. Matthew Fox. Nearly midday in Ireland. Hey, Ed. This is going to be rough. I've got no paper towels. Yeah. I knew I forgot to buy something at the shop today. It's kind of like going to the bathroom and realizing you have not got any paper on the roll. It's going to get tricky. It's professional mode. I'm just cleaning up trash. I haven't really been spending much time in this workshop, and so everything's become disorganized because I'm a disorganized person by nature, because I tend to prioritize things above cleaning, pretty much everything above cleaning. Hey, Mr. Nash. Ben, I hope you're not serious there. You're going to be most concerned if you have lost your cat. Really, really, really hope you're not serious. Dead MacBook Air drive, very unfortunate. Died the other night when I was using it. Thought it was running very slow and then boom, no more. And Daniel Gray, Rod K. From Brisbane. G'day, Rob. From Bris Vegas. Honestly, I do not get the whole Bris Vegas name. I really don't. I know I should, but for some reason I don't. I think, for the last 25 years I've never understood it. And I know it's because it sounds like a casino or something, but I still don't know. Thank God, Ben, you're trolling. I'm gonna double the price on something. Well, Ben, just for you, you're gonna get trolled. Except you're not. I think you're the one trolling me. So let's have a look at this board we've got here. This is a 1465 board, and I believe it's got no backlight after water damage, and now it's pretty much drowned in flux, and I have to try and work my way out of that before I can find out what's going on. I should double the price for these jobs, from $5 to $10. Alright. Hey, Rescue. Yes, see, I actually that time remembered how to pronounce the name there. Binta LV. Yeah, Rod, as far as the only thing I ever heard is that apparently the name Brisbane sounds like a casino or something. I just don't get it. Must be one of those 1980s things that I just didn't catch on with. Let's see, more trash. Hey, old Steely. ZX. Good to see you, ZX. Always good to see you. 0700. Let's see. You're going to work on. Yes, Ben. Hey, the Aussie Geek. Alright, looks like we've got some good people around here. Now, I'm not going to be able to be here for too long, maybe an hour at tops. I now have commitments as an adult, finally, in my late 40s. Such as making sure Micro gets his insulin at 10 o'clock, or pretty close to it. So, alright, let's switch over and have a look at this. I can't even remember all the things I'm doing here. Alright, so it looks okay, but as far as I know, this is coming with still no backlight. So let's have a look. I disassembled it last night and didn't really get much of a chance to dig in any further. Okay, so we do have the rework here, we've got this wire, which I probably just broke there. That's a mighty thin wire. That's probably what is it? iPhone type wire. Okay, and we're going to that diode there. Has this connector been replaced? I think this connector's been replaced, hasn't it? Hey, Mr. Sparky. Ah, the Aussie Geek, cool. That's something different. Okay, let's test this connector. Looks like all the pins are good. Might just clean this up because that will probably be causing obstructions inside. It looks like the original liquid damage really beat the hell out of this board. I can just tell from all the cap damage. So does this machine actually boot? It's still got some green Hulk radioactive snot down there. Yeah, I mean, look at this section here has just been... The liquid damage really took a beating to it. That cap is completely lost. It'd be funny if it was that. It'd be really funny if it was the sensor for the lid that's stuffed up on this. Yeah, it might just be that. Where the heck is that? Okay, there's no pin there. That would crack me up if that was the case. But then there was no real voltage coming out. There was 8 volts or something, wasn't it? That does need to be fixed up though. Your boot's just getting 8 volts, so I think, alright. Right, rescue. Okay, the micro update. Sounds like a computer thing, but it's not. It's now 2.5 weeks into Micro's diabetic treatment, and he's doing really well. He's put on quite a bit of weight to the point where he's almost coming back to being a normal weight cat, which is pretty damn impressive after only 2 weeks. And we'll just add more flux because, well, why not? Now I suppose for us the thing's going to be is, can we get him into remission, and how long is it going to take for us to get him into remission? Frank T, yes, earlier repair, and we actually do have the person who did it in channel. They are going to remain anonymous for their own sake. So that leg just came right off, I think. Something came off there. Wow, the cars are noisy tonight. Okay, something came completely off this leg here, so I'm going to remove that. Hey, Mr. Hopkins. Yeah, things are good. Warming up, unfortunately. Oh, that's a mosquito. Trapped in flux amber. Warming up a little too quickly already. Air conditioner's not far from being turned on. Oh, look at that. That Hall sensor chip was buggered to start with. So that has to be replaced. Rescue, I was giving him the chance to stay hidden. It's up to him. To be fair, he normally doesn't have any real troubles with the boards, but every now and then he gets pretty packed out with work, and that's when I sort of become the fallback. I'm just working through my donor boards here, trying to find the right chip. I guess the question on my mind is crap. What the hell? I'm pretty sure these Hall sensor chips are all much the same. We'll take that cap too. What's this? This is something 2855. I don't believe it's a... Yep, there we go. Same type. Hey, Crazy J. And I've also been very busy, not so secretly, working on iPhone boards, in the sense of board view files. So soon we will not be dependent on the likes of ZXW and their servers to be able to work on several of the iPhone boards and a few other brands. And I'm hoping with the file format that I'm creating for it, because everybody loves an extra standard to add to the list of standards. We should be able to somehow put it into like a wiki, not a wiki, good god man, GitHub. Now the trouble is I can't distribute the files, even though a great majority of the data in them is from me, because of the likeness to the Apple files. So I don't know what my legalities are. All I know is that I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk Apple coming along, knocking on my door saying, we'll take everything, thank you. So I kind of need someone to accidentally throw these things off the back of a truck. And the thing is, you could actually make money from them too. Like you could say, well, here's a bundle of boards, board views. No, this is not the schematics. The schematics, absolutely 100%. You're not allowed to distribute those. That's highly illegal because it is Apple's intellectual property. This is the board views, of which merely have a likeness to Apple's intellectual property, but not actually Apple's intellectual property. Anyway, so, you know, if someone has a server that can handle these sort of things in an area that is not within Apple's reach, it might accidentally fall off the back of a truck there. Yeah, I think I might redo the wire. The wire is just a wee tad thin for my liking. But I mean, yeah, that's just personal preference. I can see that someone else is tripping. I can see that the chip is off at an angle, so it may have shifted. Yeah, I need a crazy Russian contact for that, yeah. I need something. Like I said, it's just legally a little bit too much for me. But it would be nice if it could get into something like GitHub so that people, like if they need to make amendments to the file or anything like that, or improve the file, then they can, and then they could submit it as a Git push, and everybody everybody wins. But, and especially me, because everyone will buy Flex Board View, and therefore I'll be rich. Not really rich, but it's a dream. It's a dream. Oh geez, that just... So this is, this wire, it's what I'm fairly sure you're using for touch RC and things like that. 0.1 mil, is it? Torrent could be a good idea. Hey, Pernov. Well, Pernov, if you want to send me a message and talk about it, then, do so. I'm running into a bit of an issue at the moment too with some coding I'm doing, and I'm having a clash between shared pointers and trying to update it. But anyway, C++ sometimes hurts my brain. And thank you, Mr. Edward Boss. Thank you very much for your contribution. $14. Yeah, I think that's where the VIA took a dive. Too easy to copyright claim on GitHub, so I do agree. It'd be nice to have a Git of some sort. Independent GitLab, that would be good. Send me a message, Pernov. We can talk about, see if we can work something out. Maybe you got better contacts than I do. What is FlexBV written in? It's in C++ and a bit of C. So, alright, Matthew. Thank you. I'm gonna clean up this, just sort of get those looking a bit better. Fix up this hunk of horror there. Hopefully I can do it without melting the connector. That'd be a nice bonus. Pernov, where is Badcaps centrally located? Because I'd be fine to do it on Badcaps under someone else's name, but I thought they were still US centric or something like that. I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to this stuff until it's important, and then I don't know what I'm doing. Ben, if you're talking about here, yeah, that's the VIA, that's the feedback trace VIA, I'm pretty sure. So at this point we're just really going along and cleaning up things that may cause trouble, like that. There's something wrong with the pad under there. I think that whole part probably should come off. Now, Pernov, I was going through the source code and I noticed that shared pointers are used quite judiciously. And I've got a problem where I want to update the net blah blah blah, the node. Let me just get this off first. With OBV, and there is the network list that the pins point to. Anyway, I want to change. If you have a look at the pin object, an instance of it, and in it has a pointer to a net, and that's, as far as I remember, that's a shared pointer to the type net. I want to change that net to a different one later on. This is part of the editing program I'm making for boards. But if I try to do that, if I try to say pin pointer net equals some new net, it gives me a complaint about the fact that I'm trying to assign a normal net pointer to a shared pointer, and it's just like, what? Anyway, I'll show you the code later and maybe you can guide me on that, but it's just doing my head in. I can't seem to work out how to get around it without either ripping up everything, and I don't really want to do that. Because it's a surefire way to get lots of mistakes, is to rip everything up when you don't have to. I'm not sure if I can get away with converting it to a unique pointer or not. That's another problem. And as far as I can tell, the pointer it thinks I'm trying to use is a native or a raw pointer. Anyway, big mess. I'll stop talking, I'll focus on this job instead. So I need this part here, which I don't even have any of these boards. Or maybe I do actually. Da, 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 da. Sync is a bit off. Not again. Alright, let's try the audio sync fix. Alright. Please stand by while we prepare to fix the audio. Hopefully that fixes it. So this is a 20p Z0 type part. I should probably actually load up the board view and schematic for this, but I've got to find out what it is. It's a 3 something. There we go, 3208. And we're after this little chap down here. I don't think I've actually had a 3208 before. Okay, let's go. So it's this chap here. Yeah, he's some kind of MOSFET. Q9706. That should be present on pretty much every other board. Try to find another one. Try 3437, it's probably closer. Yep, there we go, 3437's got it. I was making the assumption, given that it was a 3 series, A203 something series board, and this is just the 13-inch version of that 11-inch board. Whoa, this flux smells awful. Just awful. Which means my filter's not working as well as it should. That doesn't want to come off. There we go. Yeah, Pilnoff, I'll hit you up on Discord. Like I said, I want to talk about that distribution thing. Okay, Okay, so we're going to assume pin 1 is up the top left, and it is. And we haven't even got to doing anything much yet, we're just preparing. But I'm just trying to eliminate as many possibilities as I can before I start debugging what's going on. Hopefully I'll thank myself later. Ah. Hey, Matthew Chalk. And Mr. Richard Pearson and Jellybean are arrived. Good job. And thank you for those people who contacted me about Soren's board view fun and games. I was happy to fix him up, so now hopefully he will have an easier time repairing stuff, at least when it comes to things that have board views. Because that's the thing, for a long time no one really had board views, and we all just worked from schematics, and the board itself was the board view in the sense that, well, there were part designations on the board. But then around about the early 2010 sort of era onwards, a lot of that vanished as the part density. I mean, it gets ridiculous to try and put a part name next to, you know, 0201s or anything smaller. You got to sacrifice a lot of area. That cap probably wants to, oh wow, how did I not see this? That whole section's pretty much need to take a hike. Look at that. That's pretty. And my eyes are obviously out. Okay, so that's how it should be. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Parker, Randy, that I was informed about that, so I was really happy that it should help him out. Okay, this is Thunderbolt, so we will wait till later for fixing that up. We still haven't gotten back to actually finishing this connector. Mr. Steely, no, I haven't had it. They're on my desk still. No pun intended then either. But I have been so busy this week that I haven't had a chance to do anything. This is the first board job I've been able to get to today, this week. The rest of the time I've just been putting out fires. And there's been a lot of fires. Okay, Rescue, well, thanks for dropping in. Do appreciate that. Always appreciate people dropping in. Ben, what sort of solder are you using? It almost looks like it's lead free. I can't imagine you using lead free. But it's got that grey cake look. Looks a bit better now. Definitely leaded. Interesting. Hey, Mr. Stamper. Told you I'd eventually get to another stream. It's probably just oxidized, that's all. Alright, now we've got to put another... I love it when the blimmin' pads do this. You get that short out there. Let me just verify that this is what I'm meant to be looking at. I'm not getting the focus right tonight. Yeah, it's my eyes that are out. As soon as I look at the screen and check what's in focus on the screen and then look back down here, I agree, it looks good, but okay, let's switch to all in. Oh, okay, you've been over it a few times. That could sometimes do it. Okay, you were running the wire into the backlight power. That's the output. You needed this one here. I was wondering why it looked weird, and that's why. This here is the feedback pin right at the back here. You had these ones here. Basically you were feeding the full 30 volts into it, so that's probably cremated now, which is a good thing we removed the chip, and we will run the actual feedback wire there. Although it should technically work, shouldn't it? No, yeah, all good. You're causing me to have brain fart now. So I'm going to scratch this back. I should have known by the fact that it was both pads that were taken up. Okay, I haven't tried the ChemTools leaded one. I use their products for other things, but not that. Or at least not yet. I'll do some hot air wicking. The beautiful thing about hot air wicking is that it probably upsets both Lewis and Jessa. So I think that's a pretty good troll win. However, it does appease the likes of Chris Long, so that's a win for sure. If I make Chris Long happy, I'm happy. Alright, move a bit more of this solder up here. I need another one of those much needed chips, which is a backlight driver. I lost them the other week and I finally found them again, so it's my last little batch of backlight chips since they stopped selling them at common stores like Element 14 or Mouser and things like that. I wonder if Apple told them off. Although I do believe there should be more stock now arriving again. From Element 14. Farnell. It used to be called Farnell. It's part of the Farnell group. Let's see. Microscope. I severely lost the that typing competition. Lewis called me up, and well, he didn't call me. He messaged me, and he wanted to challenge. And I told him he'd beat the pants off me. I warned him, and sure enough, he did. So I think it was a bit of a bitter disappointment. But Yeah, that's what happens. He should have listened to his own words and advice in life that never meet your never meet your heroes because it'll be a disappointment. Well, he thought I would be an excellent typer, being a programmer and all that. He called me up. He called up that part of my heroism, and he was bitterly disappointed. Tried to warn him. I said, Lewis, I am mortal when it comes to typing. He's like, no, bro, you're good. You can type real fast. You're a programmer. I said, nah, I suck. Anyway, so I sucked bad, and now he's upset. Probably won't ever talk to me again. I'm likely not going to get another Valentine's card from him. It's going to be harsh. Don't meet your heroes, folks. Hey, Becco. Alright, let's reflow this thing. From a safer distance. From a distance. It's safer to reflow chips. I'm not going to try and get all smart and comical or anything like that. I don't do that very well. I have a bad habit of probably laughing at my own jokes more than I should. And I can't do magic tricks either. Come on, get on down. This chip is not going down. Maybe it was. Richard, it's a 820-3208. MacBook Air 11-inch. Oh, I know why it was dragging off at an angle. Because of the pads that don't have the, what do you call it, insulation on them. Ben, is this... That's black UV cure, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's black UV cure. Yes, it is. There we go. Yeah, Abraham, that is correct, and that's what I tried to tell Lewis. The programmers are not inherently good typers because we do not type words per se, you know. It's always short bursts, very short bursts followed by lots of thinking, as opposed to a continuous process of typing. Anyway, he learned. I do magic. Every time I hint for with my wife, she disappears. Haha. How to cheese off a code cutter. Call him a code cutter. Yep. We don't cut code. Okay, I should have actually put this down first, but oh well. Guess we'll do it this way. There's enough of a gap there for me to work with. Even though I put solder on this outer section here, or even if I had, the reflowing would have caused it to get sucked up into the ball. Okay. So it's pretty much a moot point anyway. I need to get a shield. A shield with what looks like another dead chip on it. And lots of hair. Perfect. Ah, Mechatronics, right. Yeah. I use them a fair bit too. Particularly for equipment, they've got good prices. Where am I looking? Man, I was totally off base there where I was going. So I don't normally work with this board, so I'm actually not sure which direction is going to be best for me. Don't exactly have a lot of confidence in that job there. Technically, I could have probably just gone and seen if the... there are usually test pads on the other side that will let you connect up to them. Hey Jenny Tills, how far north? How far north? Alright, so... see, sometimes the break in between... Wait, no... Current sense, lead return, lead... No, it doesn't look like I could have found any here. Oh, it's backlight naval. Alright, so where have we got to go? This here. It's a bit of an awkward one. We'll try and maybe snake up through here. They're getting a bit close to the connector. Let's see, maybe go up through there. Then again, maybe not so bad. Yeah, you are actually awkward. Oh, cans. Ah. Not cans. As a Townsville person, I disapprove of cans. Because everybody knows Townsville is by far the more superior city. There we go. Let us start a war between the North Queenslanders. Townsville and Cairns is like the tale of two cities, I guess. Assuming that's what the tale of two cities is about. I don't know. Okay, so we've got the resistor cap and big cap and the, right, okay. This is like the old days before we had navigation, GPS navigation systems, and you would spend half a day just going over the map, trying to memorize as much as you can before embarking on your expedition. Yeah, I can't say I'm really liking the amount of routing I'm having to avoid things here. So I'm going to leave this fairly loose and give me some room to wiggle. I mean, Jenny, you guys have always had your name on the weather map, and that's been a real annoyance. I mean, every time the national weather comes up, there's Cairns sitting up the top there, all in its glory, in spite of the fact that Townsville is bigger and more industrially important. But no, who gets their name on the map of Australia? Cairns. It's an outrage. It's hard to say if they actually made contact. You used to live in Townsville, but now you prefer Cairns. You're just making it worse for yourself. You want me to ban you? Okay, well, I'm not really big into the whole war things, but hey, it's a socially acceptable, normal thing to do when Townsville and Cairns people get together. Gotta fluff up the feathers and do the whole posturing thing. And everyone comes up with their anecdotes on how this or that's better. Let's see if this even has a chance of working now. There are so many of these parts I'm worried about. That trace is a goner. I'm pretty sure that trace is a goner, is it? I don't think there's a trace there. Is that? Are you a trace? No, you're a nobody there. Yeah, even if you got that backlight fixed, that wouldn't have gone anywhere. Where are you? What are you for? LT something. Hey Shad, 740. Nice. Too early for me, thanks. So it's this chip here, and it's the second pin, this one here. Okay, again it's Thunderbolt, so I guess it's not a huge issue, but we'll worry about the, what do you call it? We'll worry about checking the backlight first. That trace is also very much on its way out. Although this one could just be a test pad. It's probably just a test pad. Can't see. Yeah. Anyway, that chap there is completely burnt through. Thunderbolt on this is probably dead anyway, but so let's try the backlight. Let's see if we get anything now. Got to be cutting it close for time. Yeah, I've got about 15 minutes before I've got to go do the insulin injections. Now, since I do not have any paper towels, I'm going to have to put this machine on a bit of bubble wrap. Wrong one, buddy, wrong one. Oh, the other thing, Ben. The keyboard flex, touchpad keyboard flex, that's going to need replacing. The pins down here have corroded out, so you won't get any activity there. You probably did already know that, but I thought I'd just make mention of it. Small things like that can send you absolutely bonkers mad when you can't find out what's going on. It's nauseatingly mad. Let's see. Crossover. Put the fan in. It's actually rather amazing this thing even started up, to be honest. What is going on here? And I'm rather annoyed about the paper towel thing because the shops are shut tomorrow here. So it means Monday. Oh man, I just put the backlight connector in. Damn it. That's annoying. The LCD cable connector was obviously full of flux still, and I just jammed the cable into it. Hey, Mr. DeGrassa. Hey, Wayne Winfield. Okay. I'm a little concerned there may still be junk up in this connector because when I push the cable in, there's a little too much resistance up this corner. Yeah, I'm gonna have to inspect that. Naturally, I've done that after I put the board in the dam. And obviously I'm making sure none of this flows down to the screen. Hey Wade, what's, let's see, have I been live long? About 46 years now. Okay, well there's no solder in there, but there is a bit of junk. It might clear up in the ultrasonic. If it doesn't clear up in the ultrasonic, then I'll just replace the connector again. Okay. Oh, lo and behold, is this MagSafe 2 or 1? I can never remember. 2. Yeah. 18 volts. Okay, we've got a boot, a fan spin. And I'm sitting at 500, 400. Okay, it's jumping around, so that's a good sign. So we're just going to wait for the flashing folder. Because I don't know what I've done with everything else. The fact that it's sitting at 500 is a little bit concerning to me. We'd expect it to jump around a bit more. Okay, there it goes, 650. I'm just checking now, Ben. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. No, we still don't have a backlight. I can just see it faintly there. So I guess the question is, do we even have backlight enable? What's going on? Oh, that was uncalled for. Let's see, volts, we're already on volts. Let's plug this. Ah! Crikey. That hurt. Yeah, whoops, that's not. I don't know what I'm doing here. Pins 2 and 3. What? 3 and 4. Idiot. .074, are you kidding? So I might have to do this with the screen open. I think maybe the sensor is now working, so it's actually keeping the screen off. Okay, 0.96, not exactly a great value. So let's go back and don't forget micro. Yeah, I've got 8 minutes. Oh, the flex. Yeah, here we go. This is why the flex is no good. Let me see. Now this bit here looked bad enough, and that's where my first intention was. But then I went over here and realised this very end pin here, that's just broken clean through. So that's no good. The whole thing just gets replaced. I mean, they're dime a dozen, those cables. Alright, so we've got a problem where we seem to have zero output voltage. Now either I've botched up the driver job, which is entirely possible, or yeah, maybe something else. So I'm kind of running out of time, but I'm just going to quickly check to see if we see F9700. Oh, no bloody wonder. Frickin' hell, Ben. God damn you. Yeah, I know why we're not getting any voltage there. When I first saw this, I thought, remember, and I didn't. Right, that pair of pads right in the middle there, they have a very, very important function on this main board. Now, I'll let some of you guess what it is. Anyone want to guess? You can guess while I'm getting what I need. Now, it's only 2 pads, folks. If I can find... No, there's that 3437. Yep, fuse. It's the goddamn fuse. No, where are you, sneaky? Okay, we're going to take this fuse here and we're going to use it. Unbelievable. I'll explain why I'm getting 0 volts there. These fuses are actually surprisingly difficult to get off without destroying. I should have some spares, but I just don't know where they are at the moment. So we're going to be naughty and use a used fuse. Right, Ben. Yeah, I totally don't remember that conversation. Wasn't my fault you picked the wrong sizes. Come on, man. You're not American. You got to stand up. You're an Australian, and you take accountability for your actions when you botch up. We're not a litigating country here. We don't shift the blame much. Hey, fixing things. Oh, nearly lost that fuse. Now the trouble is I've already put the board back into the chassis. And obviously I'm not going to run hot air on this because that will be very naughty. So I'm just going to tack it down with a bit of solder, make sure it works, If it does, then I'll do the honours to it. The other fun thing is make sure... oh, good God. Make sure you don't swear too much on a YouTube channel, because YouTube might decide that it doesn't like you anymore. Okay, that's a seriously bodgy job, but I can reflow that later when the board's out. Assuming I remember. Alright. Let's see, 4 minutes before we give Micro his insulin. Fortunately with cats it's actually not super critical. Okay, we're back up and running. 600. Oh, look at that backlight. Amazing. Let's hope it blinks though. We could be in for an embarrassing moment if it doesn't blink. Just solder a wire over it. Well, if I use your fingerprint touch chip wire, that would probably be about right. Hey, Mr. O'Keefe, welcome. What does the P on the fuse mean? That is a rating system, so there'll be like P, L, K, M and all that. And it just depends on the type of fuse you get, which is why you need to check the schematic, not the schematic, the data sheet, and it will tell you which ones mean what. So there you go, Ben. Fixed. I will go through and clean up all those other sections. I'll fix those broken traces, replace those caps, things like that. I'll give it a whole run through, get it back up to speed. Put it through the ultrasonic, get rid of all that flux, and you should be good to go. Marvellous. And we've done that just in time for me to now go downstairs and give Micro his insulin shot, which he really doesn't like, but he does get a treat afterwards, so he's happy about that. DefPom, unfortunately you missed the whole show. It's all pretty much over now. So on the retard, just putting the... yeah, well you had the... I would say... yeah, the line was on the wrong place. The fuse, you already knew about that, but I didn't. The screen lid detector, that would have confused the hell out of things afterwards. So that had to be done. And then there was the MOSFET switch. That had to be done. What else? And then there's all the other little bits and pieces that I'm going to have to fix up. So, yes, diabetic cat, Ben. That's right. 2 shots a day. 0.02 milliliters of insulin, human insulin, functional insulin, interestingly, not derived from humans, but insulin meant for humans, obviously. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go get Micro sorted out. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry it's a short one, but at least we had a bit of success, and we had the poor victim here online as well to add the entertainment value. So until the next job comes along, you'll take care, and I'll see you later.